Recorded Books presents Fearlessly Different, an autistic actor's journey to Broadway's biggest stage, by Mickey Rowe. Narrated by the author. This book is dedicated to you, listening to this book, who have at times felt so different and so alone. Though I suppose all good books are dedicated to a single person, aren't they? So rather, to the trailblazing immigrant, Helen Marion, for being my best friend. Or rather still to myself and the trailblazing immigrant, Helen Marion, before we were friends. For at that time, we both felt so different and so alone. How sweet it is that we are still different, but no longer alone. And to you, dear listener, for being my new friend, thank you. Acknowledgements. I would like to acknowledge the many people without whose work this book would not exist. The mountain-moving Helen Marion, my incredible agent, Ali Helligers, and Stamola Literary Studio, my brilliant editor, Kristen Karniski, as well as the entire team at Rowman & Littlefield, Brian Sweeney and the team at Recorded Books, my publicists, Deb Shapiro, Elizabeth Shreve, and Suzanne Williams at Shreve Williams, and most importantly, the generations of disability rights activists who have come before me, especially Dominic Lonichuk Evans, Lydia X.Z. Brown, Lawrence Carter Long, Alice Wong, Haben Girma, Christine DeZino Bruno, and Sarah Luderman. I am standing on all of your shoulders. Prologue. Enter this book with me, and I will be your guide into a world you might find deeply mysterious, the world of autism. A world that you may feel is locked away and impossible for you to even begin to understand, as distant and mysterious as the Mariana Trench or the dark side of the moon. Perhaps this is similar to how you may think a non-speaking autistic child, rocking, flapping their hands, might be incapable of understanding your world. Well, as an autistic and legally blind person in a society designed by and for non-disabled people, it has always been made clear to me all of the things that I am apparently incapable of doing. In this book, I'll share with you the story of how I did it all anyway, because of, and not in spite of my autism. Though being autistic in our culture has made my life incalculably harder, I still know that my differences are my strengths, and so are yours. I hope that this book encourages and emboldens you, whether you are autistic or not, by showing you that the things that make you different, or that you might even perceive as your weaknesses, actually make you unique and valuable, and might even be your biggest strengths. We all share this in common, because in the end, the story of autism is the story of being human. If I can have hope, we all can. If I can start a dialogue, we all can. If I can effect change, we all can. You will join me on the swashbuckling adventures of a lone pirate adrift on the Salish Sea, to feeling a student's mouth and body left aching and frustrated after lengthy days of mainstream school, special education, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. You will follow in the teetering, towering footsteps of a child who didn't know how to make a friend, but instead learned to engage with the world as a character in the colorful, spectacular world of stilt walking and street performing. Don a helmet and crave proprioceptive input with me as we hurtle down the side of a volcano on a unicycle. I'll let you into my experiences of deepest love, from the crushing challenges and unique successes of being a young, single, autistic father with full custody of his autistic child, to why non-autistic people should be jealous they don't get to experience sex as an autistic person. Before we begin, if you are non-autistic, I'm going to ask you to take a moment to relax your grip on everything you thought you knew about autism. Ready? Okay. Now follow me through the dark from stage right, find our mark center stage, and blink out of momentary blindness under the sharp and sudden brightness of a spotlight burning down on Broadway's biggest stage. This is where our story begins. 1. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Helen Keller.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?